Hello, I am Columba Blango. I have lived in the constituency and in London Borough of Southwark for so long. I have been a councillor in the borough since 1998.
Well. Thank you very much, Mr. DJ Million, Mr. DJ Little. The Salone family, then, I want to tell you thank you for tuning in for watch this unique program. And I want to tell DJ Little and partner, big thanks for giving me this opportunity for once again interact with the Sierra Leone community. I hope you're going to enjoy the program. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, DJ Little, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Dr. Columba Blango was born on April 23rd, April 1956 in Sierra Leone. In his early years, Dr. Columba Blango was an athlete at a very young age of 24 years old, where he competed in the men's decathlon at the summer 1980 Summer Olympic Games in Moscow, Russia, alongside the likes of the great Dele Thompson. Everybody know Dele Thompson, double decathlon winner, gold medal winner at the Summer Games. Dele and his people looked after Dr. Columba Blango at some point in time during those 2 days of the summer events, where Dele even made a very humorous comment to Blango and said to Blango, "Are you really a decathlete?" Looking at his feature, his stature, and then he said, "Are you really a decathlete?" He says, "Decathlon is not made for babies." we can come back there later. So decathlon is not made for babies. So because not looking at him as a young man, just looking at the physique, because as a decathlete, then you need to have some sort of a physique on you. But a slim and slender Blango was saying, it's not about the body build, it's about the skills and the talent. You understand? And so it was good. Blango was good in all sports, but excelled in athletics. He had the privilege to access to tennis club, sports fields, swimming pools, and other sporting facilities. And Blango has pumped so many lifeblood into the deprived community over the years by establishing projects such as the Southwark Community Games, the Rotherhithe Festival, and launched the Southwark City Tennis Club in Burgess Park. And that's just a few of his accolades, that is an achievement. He has made legacies in the community, like the community games, which he founded, like I said earlier, in 2004, and with the help of the legendary Mr. Rio Ferdinand and the City Tennis Club, which mentioned. As a professional teacher, PE teacher in his early years, and a lecturer, Blango also served in politics, served as a Liberal Democrat councillor for many years, and also as the mayor of Southwark in 2003-2004. He's also attained highest power, highest office as a councillor cabinet member of for equalities, leisures, and sports, and then communities, equalities, and citizenship, following the footsteps of the great Jamaican-born Sam King and MBE, the first black mayor of Southwark to be honored with a blue plaque. But Blango as well has got his own many first, because Blango, believe it or not, is the first African mayor. Am I right to say that, sir?
You're right, sir. African-born mayor. Yeah.
Yes, African-born mayor, definitely, to attain the post of a mayor in Southwark. So we shall delve into that even more. As a parliamentary candidate for Camberwell and Peckham in 2010, he went head-to-head with the might of the great Harriet Hammond in the fight for the parliamentary seat in Camberwell and Peckham. Although Blango did not win that seat, he helped the Liberal Democrats to secure one of the highest ever votes as a Liberal Democrat candidate, where he was able to achieve a 1.9% increase in votes from previous years, ultimately winning 22.4% of the vote, but was defeated by Harriet Hammond and the Labour Party. Widely acclaimed for his skills and diplomacy in his role as a mayor, Blango was well loved and well respected by his colleagues and many other of his peers. Blango proceeded to set the platform for many other Salonian mayoral candidates who have walked through the office either as deputy or as mayor. The likes of Councillor Makishek, who achieved the post of a deputy mayor and as chair, and also Labour Councillor Dora Dixon-File is one of the newest Salonians to achieve the post of a mayor. That was back in 2015, 2016. And that's just to name of one or two of Blango's accolades. Did I do my job well?
I am shocked. You did. I am really shocked. I mean, you said a few things that I have forgotten about.
Well,
honestly.
You're not supposed to. Come back.
I'm happy you said some very important things I have done, like the Solar Community Games, which was my passion. And you know, you are very good. You did your research very well.
Thank you.
And giving those statistics
thank you
accurately.
Thank you.
When I ran for Parliament in 2010 against Harriet Hammond.
Incredible.
I am very impressed.
Thank you, sir.
You did your research very well. You need to pass on those information to me because some of them I don't even have.
You know, one of the key reasons why I wanted to bring Blango here on this program, people, whilst we try to establish connections with Blango, is for us to understand as Salonians that we are in a mindset of judging people based on not what we understand, what we feel we know. That's what we do largely as Salonians. And the main reason for tonight's program is to ensure that Salonians, we learn lessons. We get this habit for the fise asabi little, and they can't judge little based on what asabi little. And you haven't spent a minute with me to talk to me. You haven't found out exactly what I do. We are all guilty of this, largely as Salonians, including myself, so to speak. We don't give people the opportunity to know their work. We don't give people the opportunity to know their credit. We don't go and research. Salon man, no, they go find out. If you want for insult Salon man, write on a paper and pen. Use book and pen. You put on a paper. Anything that is theory, Salon man not interested. Average Salon man, I must say. You understand? The average Salon man not interested once it's theoretical, because we don't like to open up the book and read. We don't want to, but we feel that we can make a judgment. We can make we can pass judgment on others because we feel we know them, we know their work. The role of a mayor, the role of a councillor working in the British politics system, the British political establishment, is not the same as Sierra Leone, where you go meet the pa nine office, or you go meet the pa nine host when I go talk business, then he give you money for your business. It doesn't work like that. A lot of us were judgmental over his tenureship as a mayor, but the man achieved. I have read through, go into Southern Council's report, go into the work that it's there. It's not hidden. Go into my Southwark. If you are a resident of Southwark or wherever, you don't even have to be a resident of Southwark. Just go into my Southwark, register and sign up to my Southwark, and read the various articles, read the PDFs of what this man achieved as the first African, non-British, not born in this country, to attain the highest office, which is the mayoral office under a borough, okay? Which is the mayoral office. And what he achieved as a Sierra Leonean. And he paved the way for the likes of Councillor Dora Dixon-File. He paved the way for Deputy Mayor of Southwark, Makishek. He paved the way. You know, we have to move away from
I'm back.
And I'm glad you're back. I'm just ranting at my Sierra Leonean community. You understand? He paved the way for so many Sierra Leoneans, but just because one lives a very humble life and just because one has an establishment does not mean that we can do the SALONE politics by picking up brown papers and brown envelopes and say, I can go to Blango in office and then make appointments, and then Blango will have a whole list of envelopes waiting for me to say, this now for Awol, this now for United Artists, this now for Afro Arts, this now for SALONE for you, this now for this organization and that organization. It does not work like that. We missed the penalty, we missed the goal post, we missed the ball, we kicked the ball over the bar. Had we established that SALONE forum, I was young at the time. I was not in that position of having the voice which I have now. I was not in that position. But I was, as a young man, I heard about that SALONE forum. To date, you're hearing the likes of Agnes Pratt, queen of social media, trying to put all Salonians together under one forum. What are the challenges? So many challenges. So many people don't want to, they're not interested. Nobody's going to look at tiny droplets of organization. The reason why we keep shouting that the Somalian community achieved so much in such a short space of time in Southwark is because they never went as 10 different Somalian organizations. They went as one Somalian community. The reason why the Ivorians, which Blango has just mentioned, achieved so much is because they never went as 5, 6 different Ivorian communities. They went as one Ivorian community. Those who are benefiting from the states are benefiting because they're going as a united community. As Sierra Leoneans, we know they go as a united community. We pretend to be a united community, but we are not a united community. You cannot have over 22,000 Sierra Leoneans living in Southwark, and yet we are not achieving, we are not gaining any of the benefits. Time to time, I speak to a young brother who works in Southwark Council, who's Kaba. You understand? He's on this program, Ahmed Kaba, right? Works in Southwark Council, responsible for community cohesion and entertainment. He has approached the Sierra Leonean community to come together and do things cohesively, but we do not embrace that cohesiveness, okay? But yet, when he does something within the Camberwell Park, so to speak, and other communities are benefiting from it, we jump on him and said, oh, Ahmed Kabano, they do nothing for the SALONE community. What nonsense. How can we say Ahmed Kabano, they do nothing for the SALONE community? We need to come together as a united community. We need to come together as a united Sierra Leoneans in Southwark. We cannot be the second largest community behind the Nigerians in Southwark, and yet still we get nothing. It's like a child being born to their parents and then knowing what their parents is worth, and then don't want to learn anything from their parents because they say, "Awale, me papa can't teach me." Well, your papa know they teach you if you not go show interest. I'm a DJ. If my son is not interested in DJing, I'm not going to teach him DJing. He has to show interest, and then I'm going to have to boost his interest. I own this diaspora voices. If my children, my daughters are not interested in getting the knowledge and getting the knowledge, the technical skills from how to produce and deliver this sort of thing, which will set them up. It's not going to be their career choice, but it prepares them. I'm not going to drag them down and say, come and sit down, because they're holding off to show interest. So it's from their interest I will feed on. So as a community, what we need to do is stop working in pockets and in fractions, stop working against each other, and at the position where Blango sits today, okay, on the consultation, Salonians can benefit so much. Salonians can benefit so much. He's no longer actively in politics, but he's actively influential within Southwark. We need to come together as a community and reach out to the likes of Blangos that have attained the highest of office. Saloma no they get nothing at Sodok. Now no full reserve. Apart from for go get on a budget pack and mess the pack up. You understand? We never get nothing at budget pack. And right now the SALONE community is trending very negatively within the higher echelons of Southern Council for being known for misdemeanors, for being known for not respectful and being compliant towards government and local council laws. We feel say we get the right for go there. When you talk to somebody, say, I they pay me council tax. What does your council tax have to do with having respect for public space? What does your council tax has to do with having values for others? What does your council tax has to do with you being very compliant to the decisions which are laid by Southwark Council and the central government? Because you say me as SALONE and they pay council tax. Does that mean that when you go to the park, you go mess the park up and then you left and for the other person can clean them? That means, is that how you leave your home? Well, then, una left una house dirty. Say because you the parents, let Southwark can clean you house for you. Left you house dirty, let the council can clean you front yard for you. You understand? We need to work together as a community and wake up and unite and go and seek the knowledge from those who have been there. Now we left for pull people then down because we feel say we know them. You have not walked in the man's shoe for a day. If they put you on another world, they crumple in 10 seconds. I'm stop ranting. I'm moving on to Blango now. Yes, sir. I have to. I mean, I'm in the position for me. Like I'm the Marmite in the Sierra community. You know, I'm split right down in the middle. I've got those who like me. I've got those who don't like me. Those who don't like me can never confront me and say things to my face. They've never ever said it in my face. All I heard is rumors about DJ Little this, DJ Little that. And those who have gone to the worst of extreme and make salacious comments and rumors about me. But I've always dug down to the root cause and get those people out. Those who I don't know of, are they after una sabi me. You understand? You can only talk behind my back. You can't talk behind my face. I see God make me a small package, so I fear nobody. I've got respect for you, but I fear nobody. We need to learn to work together as a community. Over to you, Mr. Blango, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. I see you are not happy about something.
No, I'm not happy about my community because once upon a time, you know, I mean, like I said to you, I felt, you know, some of them big men they use we as Bobo them at the time growing up. They used us because of our passion. People like us were driven by passion because I love being a Sierra. I love the Sierra community. One of my biggest regrets is I've always said, I'm speaking to Ahmed Kabadi every day, is I've done in living in Southwark since 1994, growing up here, going to school and going to college, university in Southwark Council. All the work I've done is Southwark, but I'm not a Southwark resident. I keep telling people, a lot of people don't know this. I am a Lambeth resident, but my entire work, if not, I would have gone into, because the Liberal Democrat is my local party, to be very, very open now about it. You understand? You said I can't go for councillor. Southwark is not my resident. You understand? I don't know how to do it. So except if I want to use my mama address, you understand? But Southwark is not my resident. So otherwise, I would have gone down because I've been inspired by the likes of you, the likes of Maki Sheikh, and their achievements. But I don't believe that as not a Southwark resident, I can deliver. Lambeth does not know nothing about me. I've never done anything. My entire portfolio, working for the Metropolitan Police as a youth ambassador, you understand, from 2012 to 2016, it was Southwark. My ward was based in Lewisham because the Southwark police station did not have a ward. So we were doing tea with a copper, doing so many community engagements with the Met Police. And that's how I established my credential. But that's all, you understand, in Southwark. So but if they say, well, where your address, who it up? My address is Lambeth. But anyway, that's something I can come and seek advice for you. Yeah.
Okay. Where do I move on to? Having done all of these things.
Yeah,
right?
let's just get to the point at which
having done all of these things, having tried to help the Sierra Leonean community, but in disappointment, everything failed. I had big plans. I mean, if we had supported ourselves, and if they had supported me, we would have had a community center, a resource center. Okay, that did not work. And I thought to myself, well, Sierra Leone is not the only community in Southwark, and I'm not here specifically to serve the Sierra Leonean community. I'm here to serve the citizens of Southwark.
I agree.
So I can as well embark on a bigger program that serves the whole community. Whoever wants to use it would use it. It's for everybody and for all the children of all those living in Southwark. Hence the Southwark Community Games. And I went big time on that. We linked that with education, and we saw the education standards improve in Southwark. We saw sporting participation increase in Southwark. We saw performance in sports increase in Southwark.
Yeah.
Right? I had to bring all the big names in sports in the UK that are associated with Southwark, like Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand grew up, himself and his brother grew up in Peckham.
That's correct.
So I had to bring them in to help me establish this game, you know, and it was for Southwark. So I had all of this support from everybody else to make a very successful Southwark, to make Southwark successful in sports provision. We succeeded in doing that. And I said, okay, let me look at other bigger things to do. I can do more for Southwark, and I can probably be in a better position to do more for Sierra Leone. And I've done as much as I could as a councillor. Now, if I wanted to do more, I have to go for higher heights. I decided to run for parliament.
That's correct.
Right?
That was back in 2010.
Well, no, first it was in 2005.
Okay.
I first ran for parliament in 2005, but that was in Deptford, Lewisham. Yeah? Very close to Southwark.
Okay.
I know there is a sort of cross-community activities between Southwark and Lewisham.
Yeah.
A lot of Sierra Leoneans do cross activities between Southwark and Lewisham. Yeah. So I thought Lewisham, Deptford Lewisham, in the border of Southwark, could be a best place for me. So this was all the idea of, I've done as much as I could as a councillor. Now, if I want to do more, I have to go to the Houses of Parliament. So I stood for Parliament in 2005. I came second. Okay? And in 2010, I said, well, I will run now in Southwark, especially in Camberwell and Peckham, where we have Sierra Leoneans. Maybe our Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters will see the reason for voting for me and propelling me into Parliament to work for them and to work for the Southwark community.
Yeah.
I did my best, but from statistics, when I look at the results, who voted, who did not vote, how people voted, could you believe less Sierra Leoneans voted for me?
Wow.
I got more of the white people, more of Nigerians, Ghanaians, and Ivorians voting for me than Sierra Leoneans.
And this is a fact.
Yes.
But yet, even though with the lack of representation from your Sierra Leone community, you were able to increase the percentage, achieving 1.9% and taking the Liberal Democrats getting it to 22.4% of votes.
Yeah. I mean, with that, in other constituencies, it's enough to take the Parliament.
Yeah.
You see? So, but what amazes me is this. Why would Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, Ivorians go out there to vote for me? And my own Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters just decide not to.
I like the way you're
smiling. To go the other way.
I like the way you're smiling over that.
Well, it's just.
So what was it like? Knowing very well that Harriet Ammon secured more Sierra Leonean votes than you. Now is years down the line, decades down the line. That must have been painful. Like knowing that, getting that results, getting that statistics, knowing that Harriet Ammon, who you were standing against, actually got more Sierra Leonean votes than you. And yet, in one of your videos, which I've watched and I've seen, and I'm going to be sharing it out tomorrow. That's what we're going to circulate tomorrow. Amazing. And to be honest, as much as Harriet Ammon has done some good work in Southwark, she has not actually supported the Sierra Leone for the length of time, which she's been the minister of Peckham and Camberwell for as long as she's ever done it, and the achievements which you delivered in your short sphere as a mayor, as a councillor, you know, and within just the Burgess Park area and the other surroundings, it's amazing for all to see. Okay, I'll put it this way. How did they pain you?
It not really pained me. I was proud of the work I did. Okay. I was proud of my result. I was proud challenging Harriet Hammond, who was the Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
At the time?
Yes. Yeah. And I was proud of the outcome. But I was just disappointed that I did not get the support from the Sierra Leoneans I needed to get.
Because you would have won that as you secured the Sierra Leonean votes, and in addition to all the other communities that came on board and supported you, you could have been in as the minister.
Yeah, definitely. It's just disappointing. I tell you some unfortunate statements. Yeah. I went to some Sierra Leone community within my campaign, and I heard somebody say, "This Maya will all come out SALONE if they can't challenge Wakeman and country." Will I think say it be?
Stuck for life.
I mean, that kind of statement is so disappointing. You know, we are all from Sierra Leone. I am challenging. Who is it to come and challenge?
Wow.
The British, the white people in their own company, in their own country.
That's somebody that has no aspirations in life.
No. You see, but you see, it exposed who we are as Sierra Leoneans.
Indeed.
It exposed the Sierra Leonean community a lot. It tells you what our aspirations are. It tells you what our focus are. And it tells you what our priorities are. You see? Basically, low priorities, low expectations. Yeah? I mean, wrong priorities, low expectations. I mean, that came out clear. Also, wrong values. It came, if I were to really sort of put into a nutshell the characteristics. Not every Sierra Leonean, please, I'm not putting everybody in one basket, right? I had a lot of a few positive Sierra Leoneans who came to support me, a few of them, yeah? Are sensible people, but I'm talking about the vast majority here.
Yeah, we're talking about the vast majority of Sierra Leoneans, and that's what we're trying to reflect.
So if I should characterize them as a bunch of people with wrong priorities, wrong values, and low expectation.
I like that. I like that quite a lot. Let's move forward. What do you think is the future of the Sierra Leone community? Because I made a note here. You mentioned something earlier, community relation. The Sierra Leone community relation, the Sierra Leone community and its relationship within SODOC is, to be very blunt, damaged. And this is something that you know of very well because you've served in the office. You've seen first-hand reports, and now you are out of office, so to speak, but yet still you are privy to a lot of these reports. And then as a Sierra Leonean, you will be expecting the Southern Council, with respect, will always come to you and based on your leadership, and to come to you and say, why make you people then still they behave themselves now, Southern Council? What is your take on the Sierra Leone community and its damaged relationship in SODOC, and how can we repair this damage as a community? What can you give us, first of all, A, in your professional hat, as former mayor, councillor, and all the other capacities that you served, and then B, as a SALONE man as well? You understand? What can we do? What can you say to us And again, this is not reflective of every 22,000 Sierra Leoneans plus living in Southwark, but we're talking about the vast majority of Sierra Leoneans here.
Right. I know how the council works. I know how the politics works. Yeah? From Labour to Conservatives to Liberal Democrats. I know the dividing lines in Southwark. So I know the inner operation of the council and their programs for the community. Yeah, I could use that knowledge to tap into that in the interest and the benefit of Sierra Leoneans. But first of all, what we need to do as Sierra Leoneans, we need to come together. DJ Little, we have people like you. We have people like Ahmed Kaba, the guy you just called. I know him very well.
Yeah.
We have people like Juma Ba. We still have good people in Southwark, good Sierra Leoneans who can do things. Yeah? I think those people who are well motivated, who mean well, we should come together and begin a conversation. Yeah? And begin a conversation on how to engage Sierra Leoneans and try to motivate them, right? Try to change their values or try to help them understand why they should change their values. But we first of all should come together, come up with an agenda, come up with a program, and try to push this program, yeah, so that other Sierra Leoneans can see it, and probably they will come on board. Because what basically happens, some people may not be interested, okay, no matter what you tell them, no matter how you explain to them the benefits, they will never be interested because they have different interests. But until they see it working,
yeah,
then they will come on board. So let those Sierra Leoneans who are well motivated, who mean well, who have the skills, and who have the drive to come together, and let's begin a conversation on this. I think that's what we need to do. And there are a few other Sierra Leone organizations out there.
Do you think the Sierra Leone Forum in a different capacity, Mr. Blango, do you think the Sierra Leone Forum can be re-established? And if it can be re-established, what kind of capacity? And again, I want to bring you back to answering the question about how can we remedize the damage between Sierra Leonean community and the Southwark Council as a whole and the higher echelons of Southwark. Because that's something I often speak to Ahmed Kaba, and in his quiet mode, he always gives me the advice. But I'm reluctant to actually put it out there because when you do that, SALONE they make video for you, they can't cost you a mobile you, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, you see, the way we could do it is what I've been trying to explain.
Yeah.
We form a body, yeah, a body of forward-looking, forward-thinking, respectable people who we could, respectable people, and then we could go to the council and present ourselves as on behalf of the Sierra Leonean community. So that body of respectable people will engage the council. And in that engagement, we build the confidence building program between the council and the Sierra Leonean community. That's what we need to do. And also we should find a forum and a platform for the majority of Sierra Leoneans, where the majority of Sierra Leoneans could come together to discuss various issues, social programs, educational programs, okay? This is where we missed the opportunity. If we had had this Sierra Leone Community Resource Center, we would have used the center to sort out all our problems.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of issues within the Sierra Leone community. We need a few people to come together first,
yeah,
get a roadmap, how to engage the council,
I'll tell you exactly how this is going to happen. They will meet together and then they'll say, Odialo will not include DJ Little today. It's been said. It's been said.
DJ Little should be part of that group. We have to form a group.
So because it's easier to say, let's go meet Sodok, blah, 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 blah. But you know, why make now whole thing little? People have said this, our community said, now whole thing little for involved, but because once they know the person that has the know-how, that has the skill set, you understand, that's the person they want to eradicate. They want to get this person out, not be involved, and then
that should be your challenge. That is a challenge to overcome that. Yeah, to overcome it until we begin to do something positive.
True.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people send some negative vibes.
True.
You don't really have to pay attention to that. You stay focused. I mean, I'm telling you, if I had listened to what Sierra-Leoneans were saying about me, yeah, I would not have progressed in politics. Yeah, they gave all sorts of connotations simply because they are either dishonest, they're either ignorant, and they are not willing to understand or to get information, or they were deliberate. Politics is hard work in this country, at whatever level, hard work. And you are out there all the time to meet people, to do things. Okay? And when people see you everywhere, anywhere, all the time, they begin to formulate stories.
Yeah.
If they see me, for example, in your estate, right? They don't want to know what I am doing in your estate. Maybe I'm there for a meeting, or maybe I'm there campaigning, knocking on doors. They formulate stories. I see and they hang around the estate now, all that kappa. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know? And because of my teaching job,
yeah,
most of my campaign were in the evening, till night time. So people will see me around 10 o'clock, around estates, doing various things. And they put all sorts of twists to it. I just don't want to repeat what some of them say, but they put everything, all sorts of twists to it. And they try to link you to some kind of unfounded story.
Yeah. I know how it feels.
I mean, if I was listening to all of that, my political career would not have progressed. All of Salone and these Salone people, they talk about me. No. I mean, they will say, because they are so negative, they will say, you go ahead and do what you have to do.
Yeah. I've just got a series of quick fire questions to ask on a lighter note while we try to wrap up within the next 8 minutes.
Right.
Just a quick one here. In your, obviously, to get to where you are, you have to have a drive and a determination and passion. And there's always where they say people that succeed has that extra level of mental strength that others don't have, that don't succeed at higher level. Amongst these two people, who was the most formidable candidate or competitor you come across? Dele Thompson or Harriet Aman? And why?
Oh, what a good question. Well, in their own right, they were equally formidable, right? Dele Thompson was a role model, was an idol. No matter what I would have done then, he had more advanced training from an advanced country. I obviously trained on my own. I did not even have a coach throughout my sporting, in 95% of my sporting career. I did not have advanced training. So Dele Thompson was to me a yardstick, which I could not beat, no matter what, because I did not have the training, no matter what. It was a one-to-one thing. How you have trained, how you have prepared was going to show you your result. I had not prepared to that.
And Dele Thompson is just on the screen now, as we can see.
Yeah. But there was a lot to learn from him. There was a lot to admire from him. Yeah? And there was a lot Dale Thompson of himself set higher standards for me, which I had to challenge, which I had to meet. But with Harriet Hammond, we were all, okay, she has the experience. She has been there for a long time, and she was a deputy prime minister, and she had the machine. But there was an opportunity for me to still beat her. There was a chance. I had to go out there to campaign. I had to go there to convince people, right? And honestly, one of my calculations was, with the Sierra Leonean community, if they didn't vote for Harriet and they voted for me, that was a big chance to win.
Yeah, you got it, definitely.
Yeah, so with Harriet, there were chances to win. Yeah, but with Dale Thompson, even though there was no chance to win, but there was something positive to come out, to go away with. So I was looking at the positive things to go away with, competing against Dale Thompson, than competing with Harriet. But where they feature equally well, I was competing against two giants in two different fields. That alone is good enough moral and good enough boost. Competing against such people. Who else could have been a better competitor than Harriet Hammond?
Indeed.
Who else could have been a better competitor than Dale Thompson? So I competed against the best.
Indeed, I agree. So you are very lucky, man. All right, let's move on to the next quick fire question. Would you say your success as a mayor paved the way for other Sierra Leoneans, such as Councillor Makishek, who attained deputy mayor, as well, and Councillor Dora Dixon-File, who also became a mayor in 2015-16?
Yes, I entered the council before then.
Yes.
And with Councillor Sheikh, I was his mentor. He wanted to be a councillor. He came to me and asked me, how does he go about it? Right? I coached him. I mentored him. Because you are not just selected to be a councillor. You go for a test. Like, to become a parliamentary candidate in this country, you have to prepare for at least 6 months to 1 year.
Wow.
And you have to take an exam to become a parliamentary candidate. It's not like in Sierra Leone, if somebody likes you, or in Africa, if somebody likes you, if DJ is the tough man within the party, DJ Little likes me, and they say, oh, Columba Blango, I'll make you a parliamentary candidate.
Yeah.
It's not like that here.
Wow.
You have to have a whole academic, rigorous training and lessons for at least 6 months, going to a year. And the exam is for a whole day. You take exam on the party ideology, philosophy, and party manifesto.
Wow.
That is one exam. You take an exam on the media. Yeah? You take media in various forms, the print media and the digital media.
Wow.
You take an exam in that, okay? You take an exam in community engagement. So you take 5 different exams, and they are rigorously mapped and monitored. How you approach people. You take an exam in delivery of information, public speaking. You go for training for public speaking. You take an exam in that to become a parliamentary candidate, which is why once you pass that exam, and it's very difficult to pass the exam, very, very difficult.
Wow.
Which is why once you pass that exam, you go on what we call the PPC, which is the prospective parliamentary candidate list. and you stay on that list forever. For example, I'm still on the list as prospective parliamentary candidate. It's like qualifying to be a doctor, a teacher, or a nurse.
Right.
You are on the register until you are struck off. And you are always struck off when you do something something completely out of the ordinary. Yeah.
Wow.
So you remain on that register, prospective parliamentary candidate. Like, for example, if in the next election I want to contest an election, I put my name forward and I have to find a constituency. So also to become a councillor, you take an exam. So I had to coach, nurture Marky Sheikh along that line for about 3 months until he went for the exam, passed it, and became a councillor. And even when he became councillor, I brought him under my administration, my office, to understudy me. Yeah. And for deputy mayor, I encouraged him to put his name forward. And we voted for him. So this is how I have helped individuals.
You've given back. You have given back.
Yeah, I've helped individuals and I've helped communities as well. Yeah, so and I try to encourage other people as well. One person I tried so hard to encourage, but did not buy the idea was Alaji.
It wasn't me.
No, it was Alaji. You know Alaji?
Alaji chairman, yes.
Yes.
And it would have made a good candidate because
he would have made a good candidate.
He had the people's power and he had everything in him and I think
and he was doing so well.
Yeah.
He attended every community council meeting in Southern. Every one of them. You know, together with some other Swazi boys.
Yes.
Alaji was my target because he was a community activist.
Yes.
And he was very good at organizing stuff. So I thought he would be a good councillor.
Yeah.
But he was just not interested.
Yeah. It's not easy. Well, you tried. You can't because Alaji being successful would have been an absolute pedigree because he's in the heart of the community and he's somebody that would have been like, wow, this is me, and Zenians would have hailed him.
Probably, I think what I thought I think because I'm a Labour Democrat, I don't think Alaji was actually, he was more of Labour. Yeah. So I think he will have preferred to stand for Labour rather than from Labour Democrat.
He went and formed a unity party, some of the sorts.
It was a breakaway party from the Labour Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake.
It was a mistake, yeah.
It's a big mistake. Anyway, moving on. One person that we mentioned at the onset of the program, we haven't touched on much. You had a very, very strong friendly relationship with Simon Hughes. What influences Simon Hughes had in your career, and what was Simon Hughes as a person?
I'm sure a lot of people have come across Simon Hughes.
Yeah.
He's very friendly, very jovial, and he's a guy with a lot of political experience. Yeah. A lot of political experience. He led the Labour Democrat group in Southwark. He was basically a mentor to the whole group. We had 24 councillors in Southwark when we were in power. He was very sharp, very brilliant guy. So he was like a mentor to all 24 of us. Yeah. And about 95% of us came from his constituency. So that was another interest. He had to support us, he had to motivate us because we kept him winning in his constituency, not Southwark and Bermondsey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a really community politician. He was always out there campaigning, knocking on doors. So we learned a lot from that, from community politics.
Yeah.
Simon was a real good grassroots community politician. And we learned a lot from him. And each time he went out, we will go with him. learning on the job. Yes, how to campaign, how to knock on doors, what to say to voters, what to say to residents, what not to do, how to appreciate people, how to make people appreciate you,
Yeah.
and how to be helpful to your constituents. Because Simon Hughes was very helpful to Sierra Leoneans, very helpful to the Black and ethnic minority groups.
Indeed.
He did a lot of work for the Black and ethnic minority groups. And he did a lot of casework, immigration work, health work, social service, a lot of stuff, housing, benefits. He did all of those sort of stuff. So we used to go and help out in his surgery. When people go to him, we used to handle his cases, some of his cases. So we learned a lot from him. All 24 of us on the council learned a lot from him. And he was like, because he was so experienced in parliament, when we had council meetings, he will come to council meetings to guide us on council business, how to go about things. And because of his relationship with the party, because he was the vice president of the party, he, as MP, knew how to guide us in relation to government's national agenda. So that was how useful Simon Hughes was. Simon Hughes was as useful to people in North Surrock and Bermondsey as Harriet Hammond was useful to people in Cameron and Peckham.
Brilliant, brilliant. Let's talk about youth. Youth empowerment meant a lot to you and still means a lot to you. If there are Sierra Leoneans, young Sierra Leoneans out there, I've got 3 children and many other nephews and nieces. What would you say are their chances of walking in the steps? Who wants to either go into sports and athletic, arts, or even into politics? What would you say if their names are featured now? Obviously, they will be born in the UK, many of them. But if they look at their parental background and then it says, oh, Imamana Salone, Papana Salone, what are the challenges they would face within Southwark, so to speak? And what can you say to them to continue to aspire, so to speak, a word which you've used quite frequently on this program?
Right. I would like to see a lot of Sierra Leonean children succeed in Southwark. And really, there are opportunities. There are provisions to help them succeed. Yeah. First of all, they need to take school and education seriously. They need to be disciplined, right? When those two are in line, and they need to get engaged into positive actions. Yeah. The unfortunate thing, what makes our Sierra Leonean children go astray somehow, you will see their parents take them to this, like these events you'll be talking about, and they see all these bad examples, like what happened in Borges Park. Okay, so they need to get involved in positive things like sports. Their parents need to help them access all the opportunities available. After school clubs, homework clubs, breakfast clubs, right? Once they get involved, their parents help them make sure they are involved in all of those little opportunities. That is where they start getting constructive. They begin to live a constructive life because they know they have to go, you have to wake up in the morning, get to school before 7 o'clock, get breakfast in school. And while they're getting breakfast in school, they're being supervised. So they're constantly under positive supervision. All right? And they get involved in homework club. After a day in school, at the end of school, they go to the homework club. They do their homework. Because if they go home, they may not be able, for some of them, because of their family circumstances, their domestic circumstances, they may not be able to do their homework at home, and they get into trouble in school when they don't do their homework. So after school, they use the facilities, stay in school or go to homework club for another 1 hour, do all your homework. When you go home, have your meal and sleep. You've done all your work and get ready for the next day in school. And on weekends, make use of sporting facilities, sporting opportunities, join sports clubs. There are a lot of sports clubs around. If you have talent in football, in tennis, in whatever sports, your parents should make sure they enlist you or they enroll you in a sports club. For example, when my son had a talent, my second boy, Junior, was very talented in athletics. So he would go to athletics club and go to college and go to university. And I mean, now he's finished university, but he's still focused on his athletics. He's a 400-meter sprinter. Yeah. So he works part-time. Yeah. And does athletics training. And now he's chasing the qualifying time for the Olympics in 2021. So it's part of commitment and aspiration. So parents should encourage their young children to aspire high, to be positive. I mean, I gave example of my boy who is likely to be in the Olympics, representing Britain next year.
God willing.
What I did to him, in the 400 meters.
God willing.
Yeah, God willing. So, but I made sure he balanced his time to finish school, finish sixth form, finish university, and now he has decided to do part-time job to get some money to pay his transport to go to training and back. So that's what he's doing. And we see what happens. By God willing, next year, he will be representing Great Britain in the Olympics in summer next year.
Wait for that.
So parents should encourage, and not that I was with him all the time. No, or mom was with him all the time. We only told him what to do. We showed him where to go, what to do, where to register, and where he gets challenges, we help him with that. So parents should put their boys and girls on the right track. Show them where the opportunities are. Show them where the facilities are, and encourage them to take advantage of those opportunities. And they will come to like it. Their life will be constructive, and they will just get along with it.
Fantastic. My final question before I get you to summarize, and I can't let you go. I don't bring education into it. You are senior lecturer, your teacher, and in a private school. But we've all seen the education fiasco with the A levels and the GCSEs results. In the next less than 50 minutes, we will have the A levels, GCSE O levels results will be ready, and there's a lot of challenges, expectation or suspicion about results and whatnot, and with the shambles of the education secretary Gavin Williamson and advisor Boy Justin, not so much focusing on the education, just from a Salonian perspective, Salonian children who are going to be picking up their results tomorrow. What advice can you give out there if things don't go their way as expected to the child as well as the parents?
It is unfortunate COVID-19 disrupted education so much. Yeah. And it was stressful for young boys and girls. I mean, I was teaching and lecturing from home. That was also very stressful for me. Yeah. I've never done that before, but I had to learn the skills very quickly. How to present lesson, how to teach a whole class online using Google Classroom.
Wow.
But I was very skeptical when the government in June, July announced that they were going to do some assessment, review teacher assessment, all these sort of things. And I am an examiner as well.
Okay.
I mark for AQA, you know. So I was thinking, as a teacher, lecturer, and an examiner, I know what it means to mark a paper. I know what it means for teachers to give assessments. Yeah, teachers are most times fair. Majority of the teachers are most times fair in their assessment. And I was thinking, why can't they just go with the teacher assessment? You know, I believe the assessment I gave my own boys, I say boys because I teach in an all boys school, I think was a fair assessment. If they had taken the exam, I believe none of my students will have had less than the grade I gave them. Probably they will have even had better. Yeah. So, but to cut a long story short, I'm happy that the final resolution is that they were going to go by teacher assessment, yeah, which removes all sorts of skepticisms, all sorts of sarcasms, all sorts of problems from the way. However, coming back to your question, if but you know, I know that the boys and girls would have already known some of the results, because if they went by the teacher assessment, most times the teacher would tell them from their mock exam what they have in their mock exam. Okay, but if it happens that some of them did not get their grades they were expecting, they should not be disappointed. There are a lot of opportunities out there. There are a lot of openings out there. You got to sit down with your parents or go back to the school and discuss your grades with your teacher or with the school, discuss your grades, and they will be able to guide you the way forward based on your grades. But don't just walk away, give up, and become sulky. And no, stay positive. You got to stay positive. No matter what grades you have to stay positive. If you're not happy with your grades, okay, that will be unfortunate, but go to a learning center, go to your teachers, go to the school and seek advice on what to do, what other step you can do, what other opportunities are there out there with the grades. You would need guidance. And for those who made the grades, and even those who made the brilliant grades, you still will need parental advice. You still will need professional advice on your next step. Except if your grades and your admittance to university, all of that went okay, then you just have to go ahead and go to the university, which was your choice, and begin to attend. But if you got a good grade, but you did not get your first choice university, then seek professional advice on what to do next. The important thing is seek a professional advice.
And what do you expect? What would you say to the parents to just act as a support and be there?
Oh yes, parents at that stage should always be acting as support. They should not be trying to tell the child what to do, except if the parent is experienced along that. Except if the parent is a teacher or has some kind of experience or knowledge. But if the parent is not knowledgeable on that, then you have to support your child to seek professional advice. And you got to listen to the child. The child may want to do something different from what the parents want them to do. You got to listen to the child. The parents, I know every parent will want their children to be lawyers, doctors, engineers, and all that stuff. But if your child, even with the best result, doesn't want to be a doctor, doesn't want to be a lawyer or engineer or whatever, then you got to encourage them to be what they want to become.
Mm.
I give you a typical example. I have a very good family friend. Yeah. The wife is a lawyer, and the husband is a medical consultant.
Mm.
And they have two brilliant, when I say brilliant, extremely brilliant girls. And their A-level result was excellent. But the parents, especially the dad, and both kids study the sciences and everything, and social sciences as well, maths, physics, chemistry. They had a good result in everything, English, technology. The dad wanted his daughters to become doctors. Okay, they had the ability, they have the result, they can go to the best universities. And guess what? They didn't want to. One wanted to become an artist. The other one wanted to become a history teacher. So do not force your child to go along the path he or she does not want. She may succeed in it, but she may not succeed in the job. She may be a failure in the job because she doesn't like the job and she doesn't enjoy the job. Allow your child and encourage your child, support your child to go along the path and career path he or she wants. That would be my advice to parents.
Thank you so much. Blango, we could have gone on forever, and I want to thank you so much. I'll let you have a summary of tonight, and whatever you want to say, the platform is yours, and I'll give it to you. Just summarize the program, and I will conclude.
Can you just, for 1 minute, give me a feedback on some of the feedbacks you've been getting?
Oh yes, I do apologize. I should. Yes. I'm gonna go straight to Nim Contetue. She was saying I think it was when reference towards when you were off air, and then I was passionately ranting about the SALONE community. It says a big shame. However, you are in the right position. No, okay, she's giving credit to you. It says it says big shame to basically us as a community. You were in the right position to signpost people to the right place for help. We are used to spoon feeding. You give somebody a fish, and you only feed him for a day. But if you teach someone to fish, you feed them for the rest of their life. Basically, that's what Nima is saying. Josephine Conte says, these are some of the talented people, i.e. referring to you. These are some of the talented people we need to sit down with and ask for his own ideas, and we need to give him chance to go down to Sierra Leone and see what he can do to change the system around there. That's interesting. And we didn't even go down there. I didn't even go down that road with you, but she's so right. And see what he can do to change the system around.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Well
right.
done.
All right. Okay. To round up.
Yeah.
First of all, DJ Little, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Without this, I would not have been able to tell my story. And I would not have been able to address all the accusations against me that Mayor Blango did nothing for the SALONE community, for the Sierra Leonean community. Mayor Blango was not helpful. Mayor Blango is ungrateful. All this sort of thing. You gave me the right platform. After a few years living in the council, you gave me the right platform to address those issues. So I thank you very much. And I want to thank the audience. I know a lot of Sierra Leoneans are watching. My advice to Sierra Leoneans is you are in a country with a lot of opportunities. You are in the country with a lot of outlets. Yeah. You choose your own destiny, and there are things there to support your destiny. Okay. Well, I mean positive destiny. We have the chance to do and choose the direction we want to go. But if you choose the right direction, if you be positive, then there are systems in place, structures in place to help you, your family, and your children. Also, most importantly, let's try to educate ourselves. I'm not saying you go back to school to begin to learn again. No. Let's try to know what the opportunities are for us. Let's find out. Let's get information. They say information is power.
Indeed.
Because what I discovered was that Sudanese are not informed. Most of them are not informed. So they do not know where the opportunities are. And they cannot be bothered to go for that information. They are happy with their little situation. You can never be happy with what you are. Always try to find a way of improving yourself. Okay? So let's be positive and let's try to show support for one another. If a Australian is doing well somewhere there, even not so well, ask yourself, how can I help my brother or my sister for him or her to do better? Not how can I bring him or her down. Okay? If you cannot help, then just give support and don't get involved or just keep away. But don't help bring the person down. That is our biggest problem. We are very negative. For example, if somebody should ask me, hey, do you know DJ Little? If I go into the typical Sierra Leone mentality, I will not just try to begin to answer the question, say, yes, I know DJ Little. What a typical Sierra Leone will do is, that nonsense man, that is where we start. And even when we have said negative things about DJ Little, we don't go to say, hey, hold on. But DJ Little has some positive aspects as well and talk about it. You know? So even if you want to criticize somebody, remember that person is not entirely negative. That person has a good part of him or her. So if you say something negative about a person, somebody, say also be proud enough and be bold enough to also say the positive side of that person. But generally, let's stay positive. Let's stay supportive of each other. If we don't support each other, if we don't promote each other, right? Especially our Sudanese brothers and sisters who are doing businesses, who are struggling with their business, if we don't support them, and if they also do not support Sudanese who are trying to run organizations, we will be falling apart. Even with the little successes we make, we'll be doing it at different angles. So let's be positive, let's be supportive, let's be proactive, and let's help each other. Okay? Let's try to seek the information and let's see how we can. The first thought should always be, how do I help my brother? How do I help my sister? Not how do I bring them down? So that is my advice, and I leave you with that advice, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Councillor Blango, former mayor of Southwark, the very first African not to be born in the UK to attain the highest office of mayor in Southwark, and the many other hats that you've done. It's been fantastic. I want to send my profound gratitude that you accepted our invitation. And for myself, my brother DJ Ishu is not here today, and our business manager, Mr. Pasu Ibrahim Bangura, and the rest of the Diaspora Voices team, we want to say thank you for choosing Diaspora Voices to speak frankly to the Sierra Leonean community. We're truly grateful towards you and indebted towards you. And also, we want to say good luck also with the rest of your, I don't know, say for retire, because you don't look like say don't get for retire. Well, good luck still, and we want to be doing good luck with the education program. And thank you, and we will continue to come to you and seek your knowledge and seek your advice. Thank you to your family, your missus, for being so patient and allowing us to take 3 hours of your time. And to the kids, we want to say thank you as well to that. And we, as I said to you, we shall be engaging soon. I've got a little thing for you together that we put together, and that will be going viral tomorrow.
I'll be looking forward to it. Please.
Yes, that will go.
We need to push the Israeli community forward.
We're definitely going to push this community forward.
I will give my time to any positive action along that line.
Thank you very much, sir. And,
and thank you.
I think what we need to do, as I said to you off camera, we need to look at getting you into the House of Lords. Why not?
Oh, that would be great.
Definitely.
Looking forward to it.
We definitely.
Thank you.
The House of Lords. Thank you so much, Blango.
I think I should contest another election in Cameroon and Peckham.
I think.
And then you will lead my campaign.
I am grown up now. I'm matured, and I think I'm ready.
All right. You will lead my campaign. I will see if I still have the guts, if I still have the fire in my belly to stand for another parliamentary election in Cameroon and Peckham.
You will be surprised that you do have a lot of that, and you find strength in people like us, and we will push and we will make sure that we strive towards.
Okay, you will act as an inspiration for me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye-bye.